It's Tim Albright with AVNation at InfoComm 2026 with Jordan Christoff from Visionary Solutions. Thanks for having us, sir.
Thanks, Tim. Always a pleasure.
All right, you guys, a couple weeks ago, you announced something very, not different, but a next evolution for Visionary Solutions, and that is called We-Cosystem.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through that for a minute. What exactly is it? Let's start there.
Well, I think it kind of came out of a historical thing. At Visionary, we've always been kind of a smaller partner in things over the years. We've grown a lot in the last few years, and we were always working with other companies that kind of were more towards the core of systems.
Okay.
And for want of a better term, let's talk about kind of the interoperability, the interchangeability, and the control systems. And so I think that customers are very interested in interoperability. That doesn't always mean interchangeability. It's not like you just take someone's box and put it out. But one of the challenges for us is, a customer, a long time ago would learn this control system, and then there'd be a new one that was kind of popular. And eventually, I think there's a huge temptation for companies that are at the center of things to grab more and more of the pieces around them.
Okay.
And so at Visionary, we've been trying to think about how do we solve that. And so about 6 years ago, right during the pandemic, I wanted to start using an open source package called Node-RED, but people kind of laughed at the idea then, so we didn't do it. But about 3 years ago, we started working on a Flex DSP platform that we're using in NextAV, and we realized, hey, are we going to try and duplicate and have our own control system, or are we going to do the Node-RED? And so we decided to do that, and I think that one of our mottos to the end user is, hey, don't let a control system company control you and your choices, right? So the great thing about Node-RED is no matter what Visionary decides, we don't control it. Yeah. It's open source. You can go get the code yourself. You can download it for free. We're experts in it, and we're going to be able to help people with that. But we want that to share kind of things. And coming into this show is really interesting. We have Joe Peavy, who works with us, and we tasked him with developing a flow, plug-in, whatever, a set of controls for discovering and configuring Netgear switches.
Okay.
And he had it done in a couple of days. And so it's really, really interesting. And then we were on a call with RDL, with the CEO there, so we're like, hey, we'd love to show interoperability with some of your stuff and control. And Joe had that running in a couple of days too, and we're showing those here at the show.
Wow.
So you're able to quickly deploy things in Node-RED, and also AI knows everything about it because it can download the code base. So I think it's just proven for me. I'm kind of someone who stresses systems over the years.
Yeah.
And everything I've tried to do with Node-RED, it's been able to do. We had a custom UI for our DSP platform, and it was becoming cumbersome. And I'm just, hey, I wonder if we could develop the UI in Node-RED. Sure enough, there's a thing called Dashboard. Ran into some limitations with that. Hey, I couldn't do specific things for phone, tablet, browser. Dashboard 2.0. And somebody else has developed that, right? We don't need to reinvent that wheel. So I think it's just, it's just a modern way of approaching it. And it's used widely in consumer and other things, but I think to adapt it for professional use and commercial use, it needs to have a support model behind it, and that's what we're trying to provide.
Well, I had one of the questions I wanted to ask you about. You mentioned the fact that you guys are experts on it. You didn't develop it, but you have become experts on Node-RED. What sort of support can you offer both to the end user who's considering it Visionary and going down that road, but also to the integrator who's like, I've never done this before, right? We've got legacy programmers over here that know one flavor or another. How can you help both of those groups as they enter this new system?
Sure, yeah. So at Visionary, we really believe in support. Everyone says that they do, but you can try us out and find out. Yeah. But we have all kinds of people. Chuck, our director of training support, has been doing DSP and control for a long time with all different platforms. We have Ryan, we have Nick, we have Bob, we have Joe Peavy, we have Rebecca Hicks. And I'm sure Ryan Curtright. So we have people who have experience both with the audio DSP, the video over IP, and the control. And in fact, now we're using the Node-RED every day to do our own stuff internally, right? So we're actually rewriting all kinds of different things that we had in different languages, Python and C++ and all of this. We're retooling those because it's so easy for us to deploy in the Node-RED.
Yeah.
So it's not, there's no one-size-fits-all solution, but I think that in terms of the control paradigm, it's proven for me very powerful and flexible.
One of the things that I want to stress here, though, is Visionary Solutions is not getting out of the video over IP segment either. You guys are still developing that, you're still evolving that, and you're still obviously supporting that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that for us, this is really an expansion into helping our customers deploy things simply. So in a way, we've always been trying to simplify choices. And so our method of DSP, the Flex DSP, we don't actually have customers, but we don't hand them a set of tools and say, build your audio flow. It's more of a paint by numbers. So now, and that doesn't, it's not for everything, right? We're not trying to say it's applicable to 100% of the space, but we try and supply simplified, easy to deploy solutions that are, from 50 to 80th percentile of market space. So, so there are big areas that are common, and you'll see in designs that design after design for, let's say, a sports bar, they're all so similar. Do you really need to develop a new audio signal flow for that, or do you really just need to control it and change sort of the interaction of the user with it?
Yeah.
So the Node-RED allows us to very rapidly change things, and in some cases, many cases, you don't even need to shut down the DSP to reload it. You can leave the audio signal flow running and just change how the API interacts with it. So it's cool.
That part right there is absolutely huge, because 20 years ago, when I was a tech manager, you had to restart everything, and you couldn't do that during classrooms, during a lecture, during any sort of event.
Yeah. So anyway, it's proving to be quite flexible and,
very cool.
Great experience.
All right, Jordan, somebody wants to find out more about Visionary Solutions. How do they do that?
Well, the website is visionary-av.com, or you can, find us and give us a call anytime.
Jordan Christoff from Visionary Solutions. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, avnation.tv, that's avnation.tv, and follow along as we bring you more coverage from the show floor of InfoComm 2026. All that and more at avnation.tv, avnation.tv.